Hey guys, I wanted to show how I'm doing job creation, customer creation, budget creation, schedule creation, draw schedule creation, all from a single prompt inside of my AI using the DataX JobTread to AI connection. So here's the prompt, and this is revised a little bit just because hiding client information, but this was the exact email that came in. And so my prompt is, hey Claude, need a new project to start estimating. Here's the email from Bobby Brown at 123 Main Street. This was the email from the client. Getting a ballpark sounds good. To determine the path forward, I provided a link to view some pictures. You'll see pictures of the kitchen before we demoed it. It had a breakfast nook. We're prepared to extend the kitchen. We also find an image of very rough dimensions of the framing with the result of adding a door in the window where we want it. The main structure challenged extending the den wall further into the room for more cabinets, countertop, create an exterior pedestrian door. We also like to remove the pantry to make room for more cabinets and countertops. We would like to have an island in the middle. It will require all new lighting, such as recessed pathway lights, island lighting, under cabinet lighting, all of which we like dimmable. The pedestrian door will also need exterior lighting. I'm not sure how much detail you want at this stage, or if there's a question answer, we can give thoughts on the initial setup, but we'd love to hear from a designer about options. I'm sure there's many more things yet to consider. Let me know your thoughts. Do some separation, and here's my prompt to that. Let's build a preliminary budget with the selection items for this kitchen based on the scope of work from Bobby's email. Ask questions that will help you build the best version possible. I have not been to the job site yet, so I'll do my best with the knowledge I may have. So that's the prompt, and I added the rough drawing dimensions that the client sent and one picture of kind of the current state of the kitchen. Okay, so that's the prompt. I have it set to Opus. Let's go. Okay, so the first set of questions it's given. It's asking questions here, and then these are real questions. We can select what we want. So what's your typical cabinet tier for a job like this? We'll do stock builder bit. We'll do semi-custom, just like right in the middle. Countertop material, probably do quartz. For structural work, extending wall, all that stuff, you plan to sub that out or self-perform. We're going to sub it out. Okay, so it's coming back with a budget, and it built this spreadsheet. It said perfect for the solvent designer. Here's the preliminary budget. Lands about 87.3 with a 10% contingency. It gives me some big buckets, cabinets, contingency, and PM. Selection items are highlighted in yellow. That's nice. So I can scroll through and see everything. Okay, so I'm giving it a next step. So we have our rough draft, and I'm saying, great, now look at my JobTread cost item. So now it's the first time it's going into JobTread. So look at the cost items and compare your pricing to JobTread pricing, because sometimes this comes up with better pricing. Maybe it's smarter or it thinks about things differently. And I'm actually asking it to, because I know a lot of my JobTread pricing, I'm switching from fixed price with employees to cost plus with trade partners. And that's a big switch for my company this year. And so one of the things, I know a bunch of my stuff is low. So I'm asking it to compare the JobTread catalog to its estimates. And let's just go with the higher one. But also, I'm subcontracting out all the work. So let's look for Tennessee averages on pricing just to compare and see what we're doing. Again, that's maybe not a step that you have to take, but that's kind of where I am in my business right now. Okay, so now I built the comparison spreadsheet, and let's just go through and see what it thinks. Quartz, my quartz budget was higher, that's actual price for my quartz guy. Backsplash install labor was higher for my trade partner, and that's an actual number. Appliance package was a little higher. Okay, kitchen sink. This is a real kitchen sink, $749. A lot of people like that one. So going with that. GFI outlets. Then it looked at Tennessee market rates just to know. Like I said, I'm in this transition of changing my company, and so I just have it do this research. You might not need to do that. Electrical sub package, it changed some stuff, subfloor repair. Okay, and so now what we're going to do from here, so the next prompt looks like this. Look at the Woodmont job budget. So now we're sending it back to JobTread for the second time and saying, look at the Woodmont job budget. Notice the budget structure, the cost group nesting and organization. Notice how scope of work is grouped by trade or sections of the project. Let's update the draft budget spreadsheet to represent closer to the Woodmont job budget and categories. You'll notice general conditions and other things we need to add to our spreadsheet here. So let's let that run. Okay, so it updated and you can see it's pulling general conditions, scope of work, how I like it organized here with a location area, room space, labor material split. It's rebuilding it. It talks about certain things here. Okay, let's just jump to this, see what it's looking at. General conditions, great. Design, kitchen designer. And again, we're just looking for a rough ballpark of everything, right? So it's got my scope of work, and it's doing demo with the labor and materials. It's doing a structural and framing with the labor and materials, and it's highlighting my yellows there. So the next prompt looks like this. This looks great. Let's create the customer, create the location, create the job. Let's build this budget in the new job. Let's build a schedule based on the scope of work for the job. Use JobTread tasks. Then let's build a draw schedule in a cost group called pay phases with cost items for each draw. Draw schedule needs to make sure we never go cash flow negative. Then create draft invoices for each draw in the pay phase. Okay, it looks like it's done. Let's talk through everything it did. So we scroll up, it did a lot. So it's got the references for the job, it's creating the job, there's the ID. It's figuring out how to push into the budget, general conditions, unit IDs, it messed up and it figured it out. And then it keeps going, drywall, painting, contingency, budget's fully loaded. Budget is 103 costs, 136 price. Now let me build the schedule. Schedule's built. Now let me create pay phase draw schedule. And this is pretty cool. It came up with these 4 draws. It thinks that's good. Let's add it. So it added the pay phases in. It said based on the pay phases, let's look at document templates, and it found a pay phase invoice template. It said, great, let's use this. It created the pay phase, and this just telling us everything it did. Let's go look at it. Okay, so here is the job. It's talking about everything it wanted here. We can see it added the invoices. So let's first look at the budget. We've got our general conditions. I like the pay phases to be at the top. Got my pay phases here. General conditions, it's looking at our project management, design, construction, job site care, roll-off dumpster. So it's not perfect. I'm noticing some things already. It's a little off, but it's putting my descriptions in the cost group for each section. It's doing my labor and materials for each section. Very cool, very cool. It's electrical, there's backsplash. Love it. It gives me a great starting point, a great draft budget to go in and fine tune. Now let's go look at our schedule. Save this. Look at our schedule. It's just assuming we're starting on April 6th. That's fine. So there's our schedule, which it looks pretty cool. It's a little rough. You know, some of this stuff we wouldn't give a whole week for, but that's totally fine. We're getting something in here, and that's what this example is showing. Then it gives us our invoices. Here's our invoice. How to make this better is you can create a project inside of Claude or inside of GPT and give it the same prompt. And you can ask it, hey, based on this, what we just did, can you write a prompt so we can do all of this in one attempt and not have to go back and forth so much or add extra prompts? So you can say, hey, I didn't like how you did this, fix that. Edit the prompt that you just gave me to make sure you don't make that same mistake again. So there are other ways to expand on this. I just wanted to show you a quick and dirty, this is how it works, this is how you could do everything with this JobTread AI connection. Total time, it took 30 minutes, and you notice my head down a lot. I'm playing a game on my phone while this was going on, but theoretically you would have other things to work on. You could take phone calls. You could do this in the background of other things you're working on. You could do multiple of these at the same time, have multiple chats running. Maybe you're doing 3 estimates all at once and you stay busy the whole time. But that took 30 minutes to do all that. That'd probably take someone a few hours of really good work. So now we're getting all of the upfront mental load off of the person doing the work, and now they have a rough schedule, a rough budget to go in and tweak with the final details. So hope that helps. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of how I'm using this in my company with a nice example, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.